How hard was it for you to take that entire ideal and narrow it down to 7 minutes? I know 18 minutes was impossible almost, but 7 minutes, that's great.
One of the things it forces me to do whenever I'm challenged to do a speech in a very short time is that it really forces you to get rid of the fluff, right? There's just no room for extra thoughts. And I think it's Chris Anderson who says overstuffed is underexplained. And so
Hmm.
it really forced me to get down to one central main theme, one point, and really drill down and explain to that. So in a way, it's powerful because it does force you to just clarify. But to me, I think the most pressure was just looking and making sure that every word was intentional. For an hour keynote, you have plenty of time to explore or drill down or be flexible, but
Yeah.
with the energy in the room. But with something like a TEDx talk in 7 minutes, I had to be very focused and just make sure that every word was carefully thought out so that I communicated that idea. There was just no time for
Yeah.
extra
Yeah.
room.
Were you nervous?
No, not nervous. I definitely get excited for opportunities like that, but nervous, no.
You're one of the few that were nervous. I'm the type of person who didn't get nervous at the start, boy, but at the end, I was so nervous. I was all over. It was like, okay, how do I get back to the green room? Where is that? I totally lost that. So you're one of the few that didn't get nervous. Did you have to apply for a lot of these to get them?
Absolutely. In fact, when I first learned what TED Talks and TEDx Talks were, and I had started speaking, I applied fairly early on, as soon as I learned of what the whole process was. And I applied several times over the next few years and didn't get accepted. And I really had just pushed that application to the back burner. And I said, you know what, I'm going to focus on other things and just focus on speaking and sharing my message where I can. And I really had just kind of pushed that to the back burner and stopped applying.
Mm.
And someone who had heard me speak before reached out at some point and said, hey, there's going to be a TEDx talk in our community. I think you'd be a really good fit. You should apply. And so I did. And total surprise and total shock when they accepted it.
Yeah, and that's the way it works. So just all of a sudden, I'm there. I'm there. So let me just change up just a little bit here. So, what is unique, powerful, but need to know about you, your TEDx, or your company? So, again, let's shade away from the TEDx for a second, but maybe you or your company. What's unique, powerful that the listener needs to know about you?
I think it's something that is unique about me, and I do a lot of speaking with my husband, so this kind of applies to him
That's
as well.
unique.
But that is unique, yes. Mac and I have separate lanes, but we do a lot of our speaking together because the principles are the same, regardless of whether the audience might be different. But one of the the highest compliments I think that we get is number one, we are very authentic and we share real stories from our experience. And most people appreciate that. And I tell people, I'm like, I didn't really marry him for his name, but I like to joke about it and say, you know what, if you're going to be a speaker and author, you have to have a last name like Story. How
Yeah,
cool.
it works perfect, and you probably okay, I'll ask him about that later if he feels that way. Yeah, and that is unique because there is a story that you guys work together. Like so you have a separate lane, and that's very powerful. I think that after having a brief conversation with him the other day, it's very powerful.